thing. Okay. Hi everyone, welcome back this week. I'm Erica.
I'm Brianna. We are Blazeny. This is Tipsy Talks. We hope you have your champagne, your glass, it's popped, it's poured, and you're ready for some tips.
And to get tipsy, because we're going to talk and break it down. Today is about design. Designing around your love story and not just what you see on Pinterest.
Not feeling pressured to do something just because it's the latest trend, it's what you see, not just copying straight from Pinterest and redoing exactly what you pinned already, but really designing your wedding around you, your groom, your love story, bringing people along that journey and into your lives that day.
Yeah. Into your love story. And there are ways to do that without being cheesy or generic or stiff or stale. You want to, really talk to your designer who's helping you with your wedding and give them things that you really enjoy. So I know by now, if you are engaged or you're thinking about getting engaged, you could have pages and pages and pages of Pinterest. Some of it may not match. Some of it may be, you may know exactly what you want.
Maybe you pin the same thing 3 times, so that's something to look at.
But one of the things that we really love to do is look at your Pinterest page, get an idea of who you are as a couple, and what you love about each other, what brought you together, and look at your Pinterest page and listen to your story and kind of meld those together and find creative, fun ways to do things that are specific and unique to you, and not just take your bouquet to your florist and say, I want you to do exactly this, or making it look picture perfect exactly to what you see on Pinterest. Think a little bit outside of the box. Think a little more, okay, what could we do with this? Where's it going to go? How can we add little touches of us? A very small example would be we've had couples who love Disneyland, and we've put little rhinestone hidden Mickeys in their bouquets. We have, inserted humor. We had a wedding recently, and the couple, we noticed together that they were kind of funny together. And that wasn't even something that they told us, we're funny, so include humor. That didn't happen.
Something
it was just
we picked up on naturally through our conversations, through our meetings, our encounters, our champagne.
Just kind of watching them and seeing that humor is definitely important to them. And so, and just kind of silly humor too. So we incorporated that in little signs, restroom signs instead of your typical restroom signs. We made them a little funnier, and just little things that don't have to be cheesy, but are unique and special, and ways to kind of give your love story a little bit of a flair and to bring you out.
Yeah, and when your guests get there, they say, oh my gosh, this is so Susie, or oh my gosh, this is so Jim, or whatever the case may be, or oh my gosh, that is so neat. I didn't realize that the bride was born and raised in California, went to school in South Carolina, but met the groom who was born and raised and went to school in Texas. In Colorado at an internship.
And the only way they got to date was to meet in different locations and travel. And so using all that information and incorporating it into what they named their tables.
Yeah. Instead of table 1, table 2, table 3, there was things like, you're at the Texas table, you're at the California table, you're at the Colorado table,
South Carolina table, New Mexico table, and incorporating travel and their love for travel. Of course, it became all about their new adventure together and incorporating things that were just fun and unique and special to them. And on each individual plate was a little story about what all of those things meant, to kind of bring your guests into your journey. There are so many fun and easy ways to do that.
And elegant ways to do it. It doesn't have to be cheesy, like we said. You don't have to, we met, at the movies. So we kept every ticket movie stub that like every couple does. I mean, I did. My husband and I still have some movie ticket stubs from when we first started dating. It doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be the name of the movie that you first saw together, and then the first restaurant you ever ate together. And, you know, it doesn't have
Make
to
it
be
subtle.
that crazy.
Yeah. Subtlety, beauty, elegance, romance, but you. I think that so many times people get so overwhelmed and they want to make this beautiful wedding and they want to figure out, and maybe you've never done that before, it's not really your thing, and so you're just copying straight off of Pinterest. If maybe you don't have a designer, take some of those things into your florist. Your florist is not not a wedding coordinator, but you could say, I really love these. But
maybe I really love this bouquet, but maybe not these colors. Don't look at the bouquet for, I have to have these colors with this style. You know, you can bring that in and kind of break it down with time.
I like this shape. I love these florals. What do you see on me? They design flowers all the time. Yeah. Give them some creative freedom. Of course, make them do mock-ups if you're concerned about what that creative freedom might lead to. But say, what do you think might look nice on me? How can we make this unique? We really love whatever it is. Is there a way we can tie that in? And you know what? Your florist, your person who does linens or rentals may have little ideas for you to kind of pop in and throw in little tiny little places. Don't be afraid to do that, I think is what we're saying. Don't feel like you have to stick exactly to the picture.
Yeah, and also when we say design around you, don't feel pressured like, well, my mom says that she's not going to help pay for the wedding if I don't have this. But I don't like that. So now how do I do? Well, mom is important. And what she, envisions is important as well. That doesn't mean that now the whole wedding becomes about mom's choices. We can break that down and find out, how can we incorporate the things that are important to mom, who has raised you, supported you, been excited for you, encouraged you, is going to be there forever. How are you going? We don't want to push her away either.
And ever and ever and ever.
We don't want to push her away either. Maybe. But we do want to make sure that it's still around you and your groom. And you want to make sure of that as well. And you also don't want to feel like, I have to have this big outrageous wedding with 700 wedding guests because my best friend Johnny did the same thing and now I have to outdo her wedding. We don't need you to do that either. If that's not you and you would rather, take your closest 75 relatives and climb to the top of a mountain or whatever it is,
call us because we want to do that.
Just make sure the day is about you. It reflects you and your groom and not someone else, and not trying to outdo or overdo or overwhelm yourself or your guests
just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
We had a bride recently. We loved it. They came from 2 different cultures. One was very Italian, one was very Hispanic, and they melded those cultures in their music, in their food, in their they had different bands and in different times during the wedding.
Ceremony as well.
Yeah,
the traditions.
And they used some of their signage was in 2 different languages. It was beautiful, and it was so elegant and so well done, very tasteful. Yes, and there are ways to do that and make it exciting, but definitely make sure that you're thinking about what do we love, and how can we take what we love and put it into our day. So that people, when they walk in, see a day that was about us. Yeah. When you're standing in that wedding, they go, yes, this is a day that is about their love, not just I've been to 5 others or I saw this on Pinterest a while back. Make sure it's really about you.
But also, something that I just thought of is we had a bride one time tell us, I love these things. I love peacocks, I love apples, and I love Disney. Okay.
And I love this color, and I love sunflowers, and I love teal, but I also love vintage.
So you may love all of those things, but that's where you may want to look at Pinterest and say, like, okay, do I want a peacock wedding? Do I want a Disney wedding?
We could make beautiful ones.
Yes. Do I want a Disney wedding? or incorporate things that come together, maybe subtle ways of adding those little things, but not saying, I want peacock feathers within my sunflowers, and then I want my sunflowers on the centerpieces that look like Mickey heads, and, we aren't going to go there, we aren't going to do that, it would be a lot. So break it down into things that maybe you subtly add it, maybe you use that for rehearsal, maybe you use it for your bridal shower,
your bridal shower. Sorry, we're thinking about babies around here these days.
Your baby shower in the future.
Or
you don't use it at the bridal in the wedding. So consider, those things, break them down, and don't feel like, oh, well, I love all these things, and they said that I can include everything that I love. You can, but again,
have you ever been told
tastefully
that when you stand in front of a mirror, you get dressed in the morning, you stand in the front of the mirror, and you say, okay, what needs to be edited? Your wedding is very similar to that. Think about it, write it out, picture what that's going to look like, carry that through. Ask people's opinions if you don't have a designer working with you.
If you want them. Yes. If you want the opinion.
If you want their opinion.
If you truly want the opinion, ask.
Yeah.
But if you really don't, or you're worried about what they're going to tell you, don't ask.
Don't ask. But I will tell you, for the bride who loved all of those things that we talked to, we said, okay, here's what we need to know. What is it that you think about most often when you picture your day? If you don't know, and there's like 17 things that you could use and you already know it's too much, close your eyes. Walk through your day. Envision your day, okay? And this is maybe an exercise you can do with your fiance. Walk through. How do you two see yourselves going through your day? What's important to both of you? Walk through that process. Yeah. Feelings are really feeling words. We always ask our couples, give us the words that you want to feel that day. And feeling words are a great way to start designing. They're a great platform to start designing.
Because say things like, I want it to feel elegant and romantic and calm and peaceful.
So
then
of those 5 things that you did, what best fits those words? Probably not Disney, probably not peacock. So then you go, okay, those 2 are coming off. Now, if you want to have fun and bright and colorful, and
I envision it being exciting and a party. Okay, well then
maybe it is the peacocks.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. So take the things that you love and really walk through that, and that will help you to kind of take things off. And I will tell you, that bride who thought that she wanted all of those things and was like, I really can't decide, we found a way to incorporate something very subtly in any of those. We ended up going one direction, and we did a peacock rhinestone brooch tucked into I think it was her bridal bouquet. There were different things that we used in ways that she could go, oh, I loved that. What a fun little surprise.
That represented me.
Yeah.
That represented us. We got engaged at Disneyland, so therefore, and we wanted to include that. So we were able to include that in
little subtle ways. Sometimes we love to surprise our couples with things like that. Find ways to do it, but if you're looking for a way to kind of determine which route do I go,
think feelings.
Yeah, think feelings. And maybe even sometimes before you jump right to Pinterest, sit down and walk through that. And it's also a funny exercise to listen to you and then listen to your fiance do that. Have you both do it and then come to an agreement on the words that you can agree on, and then take it from there, and then start to look through Pinterest, and then that way Pinterest isn't so overwhelming either. When you kind of have
a guideline
of, okay, we want it to feel like this, we want it to, the colors more to be like this. Then as you start to pick things, they kind of all fall into a pattern. And then what we typically do for some of our brides is we say, okay, you do that, put your Pinterest together. I want to see your whole Pinterest page. So we go through it. And then we say, now we want to see your top three. your three most favorite pictures that every time you look at Pinterest, you go, oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
And then that, coupled with your words, is where we really kind of start to pick up on what this is going to start to feel like and look like. And it helps us to kind of start creating a design board. Maybe we take some of the other things and we go, okay, we can incorporate it in here. And it's very fun. It's like creating a storyboard. So don't be afraid to kind of go out there. It doesn't have to be scary.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be cheesy.
It doesn't have to be flashy just because that's what everyone else is doing. It just needs to be you. You need to be comfortable within it, and it needs to really represent you and showcase you and your groom and bring you to the beginning of the rest of your lives.
Yes. And that you feel your best self that day.
Yeah.
And design really does that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you liked what we had to say today, please subscribe. If you have questions, comments, anything that you would like us to touch on, leave it in the comments below. Join our bridal party again next week with your champagne, and we hope to see you next week. Cheers. That's clear. I didn't notice. Let me see. Yeah, yours is pink.
Very cute.
Oh. What is this, week 3?
Like
and I didn't even notice until right now.
It'll be like yellow.
Why?
When you don't have pink champagne in there. Or Sprite.
Yeah, I like pink champagne.